Good morning, Team Fleet Feet. Hope everybody's doing well. So I am just concluding a West Coast tour here. I've had a great week. Spent a lot of time with owners, employees, and really seeing sort of like the magic of the brand, which is you and our employees, the secret sauce in works. And so I'm pleased to report that our brand is strong. It may not be perfect and there's still bumps in the road, but man, it's been exciting to be out here this week. And so I thought it's fitting on my West Coast swing that I would end right here. If you don't know where I am, I'm sitting currently on the steps of an old Victorian house here in Sacramento, California. And this is the birthplace. This is the original Fleet Feet, where Sally and Elizabeth on June 1st, 1976 decided to turn their dreams into a reality. And this brand that we know and love first came to life. And so I thought it was fitting just to end up here. You know, if I look back at 2017, a lot has happened. There's been a lot of change, a lot of evolution of our brand. Back in Pinehurst, I in essence asked you guys to stand on the cliff with me and look down and jump in, and let's start swimming together. And so I think it's important that, you know, if we're gonna swim, we should know where we're swimming to. So, you know, and I think back to sort of like Sally and Elizabeth and like what it was like, you know, on that day on June 1st, not to know really like what their future was, you know. And I've spent some time talking with Sally about, you know, like why did she do this? You know, what was she trying to accomplish? And I've spent a lot of time talking to each of you, asking that same question. And the amazing thing is, there's a lot of similarities. You know, at the end of the day, Sally wanted to create a place where runners could come together and have a club, you know, have a hangout. She wanted to be inspirational. Like, she wanted to have a place where, you know, people could come and feel empowered. They could touch new products. They could hear new training programs, new ideas, new initiatives, whether it was nutrition or just the latest and greatest waffle trainer. And so I think it's a good place for us to kind of start. Over the last couple of months, we've had a lot of vendors in town, and we've been talking about sort of our future. And if I could take a step all the way back in December of this year, I took 13 members of our team in Carrboro off-site. We spent 3 days just looking at where are we and where are we going. Mission, vision, values, what are our strategic priorities. After that, we took a day off, huddled all of our notes, and then we got together with all of the company. So we called an all-company staff meeting, shared the results of our offsite with them, and engaged them in that discussion. You know, are we missing things? Like, what seems off from that perspective? From then, you know, I've subsequently shared this with our Franchise Advisory Council. We had our operating partners were in town for a meeting, and I've shared this as I've been out traveling with several of the stores. But I've also shared this with several vendors, and so now I want to engage you in this conversation. I want you to be a part of it and to have ownership of this. And so that's what I want to share with you today. So where are we going? So let's start with that. And so what we really started with, like, what is the essence of our brand? You know, and if you talk to many of you and to our customers, there's words that come out. And I think just taking a step back, when you think of like the essence of a brand, if I was to say Disney, like what would you think of? I mean, I guess you're not, this isn't a one-on-one conversation, this is me talking to you. So Disney, magical, right? Like creating magical moments for customers. Volvo, you know, you think of Volvo, you think of the mom or the dad, and you think of like safety. And so like those are like sort of like those words, like the heart and soul that would be used to describe the brand. And so for us, you know, when you're thinking of like what's the essence of our brand, I mean, it's really inspiration, you know, to inspire people to lead healthier and active lifestyles, to inspire people to get out there and move. So what is our vision and what is our mission? Our vision is to inspire the runner in everyone, and our mission is to empower anyone who runs through social experiences and personalized solutions. Inspire and empower. For the last 40 years, that's been the essence of our brand. That's what Sally and Elizabeth, when they first sat here, and that's what each of you do every single day. And I think it's more important now that we hold those things true and dear to our hearts, right? When you look at the world that we live in, we're more politically divided than ever. Whether you're liberal, conservative, for or against guns, however you stand on healthcare, we're at a world where we're at odds with one another. People are on their phones more than ever. They interact with each other not through like human connection, but through a screen, through a keyboard, through an emoji. What I do know is that running changes everything. When you think about running changes everything, right? Running motivates us. It connects us. It challenges us. It drives us. It prepares us. It unites us. It is us. Now, this doesn't mean that we're not gonna be a place where walkers can come. We're gonna continue to do medical outreach. We're gonna continue to do like workplace fits. But at the end of the day, a power of a brand is inversely proportionate to its scope. We are gonna own running. We are gonna be the 8,000-pound gorilla. Every distance, every surface, every level. That is gonna be us. There is nobody else that's gonna even come close to like what we're gonna do. So what are our core values? Our core values are gonna be like what we hold one another accountable for. Ultimately, as you're going through the hiring process, or we're looking for prospective franchisees, these are the attributes that should best define our brand. If you've walked through our office, you've seen that we've had core values up before. Many of you have core values in your store. The intent of this exercise that we went through, and why we've involved each of you, is that we want core values that are uniform across the brand. This should be what we hold one another accountable for. So, you'll see we have 9 core values listed here. First and foremost, put people first. The next one, do the right thing. It's a privilege to serve. Create value with every action. Lead and influence in all we do. Engage and empower our community. Be present in every moment. Work, sweat, and live passionately. Run together. So when you see the document, you'll see that there's a description that kind of talks about each one of these values. Whether it's work, sweat, and live passionately, we love what we do, we work hard, and we challenge ourselves every day. Run together. We collaborate and communicate often. We contribute to the brand. We are one. So what are our 5 strategic priorities? First and foremost is people and culture. You know, at the end of the day, we need to effectively recruit, develop, and retain sort of the top talent. And so we have a lot of objective and initiatives aligned towards that objective. I mean, at the end of the day, our brand is defined by the person who's on the fit stool, and we need to give every tool and resource to help us capture, hire, and retain top talent. Our people are our success. You know, if there is any secret sauce at Fleet Feet, it's our people, and it's our ability to develop them. We're gonna honor and we're gonna recognize the employees in some special ways in 2018. More of that to come as we get throughout the year. The second strategic priority is like really business development. And when I think of business development, I mean, it's as simple as how do we acquire new customers? How do we increase the retention or the frequency that people are coming in? And then how do we sell them more stuff? We're a little unique in that in a lot of industries, we're different in the fact that we can actually create customers. You know, we have the ability to create runners. And so you'll hear a lot of initiatives around business development. The third one is keeping people in our digitally connected ecosystem. You know, at the end of the day, you'll hear me use the term BG and AG, before Google and after Google. There's a lot of digitally native consumers, and so we want to be there. So if somebody wants to shop in their underwear, if they want to experience the brand through Instagram, if they want to go to our website, that we are keeping them in the Fleet Feet ecosystem and inspiring them and empowering them and not having them go outside of our ecosystem. The fourth strategic priority is like we are one. You know, at the end of the day, these are brand building moments, brand building initiatives, whether it's the big run to marketing led initiatives to ultimately being consumer centric. Loyalty programs, pricing that is consistent across the brand so that no matter where the consumer chooses to interact and interface with the brand, that they have the same experience. And finally, the innovation lab. You know, ultimately that's about throwing spaghetti up against the wall and seeing like what sticks. You know, and so when I think of like the innovation lab, we're gonna open a store in Austin that's not gonna have any apparel. And that doesn't mean that we're just gonna have a slimmed down store that doesn't have apparel. It's gonna have a new look and feel, a new experience on the inside. We're gonna show footwear in a different way. You know, other examples would be, we're gonna launch Lululemon later on this spring in a store. We're gonna be aggressive in terms of Amazon, in terms of like the third-party marketplace. So what does retail look like in 10 years? I don't know. But I do know that like things are gonna change and things are gonna evolve, and like we need an innovation lab where we can test new ideas, we can test new things to see what sticks. So within each of these priorities, there's objectives and there's initiatives. And if you want to see sort of like a detail, like we have SMART goals, you know, specific, measurable, actionable. There's an R, I don't know what the R stands for, and T, time lanes. So if you want to see sort of a detailed plan, I'm happy to email you the detailed plan where you can look through this and see it yourself. Finally, I don't have much more to say here. But I've been reading this book recently about radical transparency, just being fully and openly honest about your expectations so that everybody knows what's expected of them and what's expected of you. So one of the things that you'll see is I'm going to be radically transparent with you. I want you to know what I expect of you, and then you should also know what you should expect of me and for the team in Carrboro. One of the first things that we're going to do is we're going to change our name. And when I say change our name, I don't mean the Fleet Feet Sports, although we are going to change that. At this summer in the conference, we're going to be rolling out a new brand and a new logo. So I would ask that before you guys make big investments relative to signage or logo, you hold off until conference. As I've said before, we are going to drop the sports from the name, and we will just be Fleet Feet going forward. But for the moment, what I'm talking about when I talk about changing our name, for the past 40 years, we've gone by the name of Fleet Feet Incorporated, Inc., FFI, Corporate. That's wrong. At the end of the day, the most important position in our stores is the person on that fitting stool. And so whether it's you or whether it's anybody in Carrboro, our job is to support that. That is the Holy Grail. There's no corporate. So we're changing Fleet Feet Incorporated to be the store support team, because that's ultimately like what we're here for. We're here to support each of you and each of your employees. So over the next couple weeks, you're gonna see the rebranding of Fleet Feet Incorporated to Fleet Feet Store Support Team. As I wrap this up, I just want to thank you. It's been a heck of a journey over the last year. So that moment that we all jumped in together and started swimming, we've done some pretty amazing things. There's been a lot of change. If you thought last summer's conference was pretty impactful and there was a lot of change, wait till Minneapolis. Whether it's things that we're working on with FitID, new logo, new branding, loyalty programs, there's a lot coming down the pike. We've got to change, and we've got to change fast. I need you guys to buckle up. I need you guys to be ready. But I want your support. And I said earlier, we're going to be fully transparent. If you'd like to see the full detail of our brand strategy and roadmap, email me, and I'll be glad to send you a digital copy so that you can read. This is as much my brand as it is your brand. I want you to be engaged in the conversation. So as you're thinking about this, as you're listening, as you're reading, I'd love to hear your thoughts. What are things that we're doing right that we need to expand upon? What are things that aren't going well that need to change? Together, we can do some crazy, amazing things, and we can make the world a better place. We're in a unique spot in that we can actually create customers. We control our destiny. Thank you for all you do, and I look forward to hearing from each of you and to seeing you guys soon. Have a great day.